Alright guys, good morning. How y'all doing on this Saturday morning? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and I am here live for a live review to talk about last night's episode of Smackdown. I had a few minutes before I went off my Saturday plans. I thought I'd get at least one of my reviews out of my way, so I'll do this one tonight. I will try to do my Hell in a Cell preview predictions when I get home late tonight. If not, I'll do them tomorrow before the show, if I can get to it, of course. Dynamite, not sure when I'm going to get to that one. I will get to that one at some point, though, this weekend, but I'm booked all weekend. Have plans for later today. Father's Day is tomorrow, of course, as well. And the pay-per-view's tomorrow night that I'm really not that excited about, let's put it that way. My hype for Hell in a Cell is even less than my hype for WrestleMania Backlash. And that's saying something, too. But let's talk about SmackDown. I didn't get to watch SmackDown or AEW last night. I just watched the highlights for SmackDown. Watched and I felt like I kind of got an idea of what a grade I would get. I may go back at some point and watch the full match between Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio inside Hell in a Cell. So I did grade this show. So the grade is just based off the highlights I saw. Like, sometimes I watch highlights and I just say, I can't really grade this. I don't know how to grade this. I'm just going to talk about what happened. This show felt like I could talk about a little bit more in detail what happened. So overall, it was decent. Like I said, the build was just been so flat for Hell in a Cell. It just feels like this card for Hell in a Cell, like, it's almost as bad as it was for when it was for Hell in a Cell 2019. Where they literally went into that show with just 4 announced matches. I mean, I say that, and last year's Hell in a Cell card only had 5. I think this year's has 6 or 7? I can't remember, but the matches aren't as durable, I feel, as we had for last year's Hell in a Cell card. But 2019's Hell in a Cell, if you don't remember, that literally had almost nothing announced for that show. And then the day of, it was just filler. I was like, what was even the point of even having this show if you didn't even have any matches announced? It was just all filler matches. I mean, credit where credit was due. 3 of the matches announced I actually was excited about, which was a tag match with Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan versus Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, the late Brody Lee, rest in peace. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks at Hell in a Cell. And Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell. We all know what happened with that. Making that my worst pay-per-view of 2019. But anyways, and Hell in a Cell card prediction ring, I still gotta fix the graphics because there's a match not taking place now at Hell in a Cell. So, yeah, they pulled Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio from the Hell in a Cell card and put it on the main event of Friday Night SmackDown. And to be honest, even though I felt like Rey and Roman could put on a good match, and the highlights I saw, their match was pretty good inside the cell last night. But, like I said, the hype was just like a weak hype. It was just 1 week. So I'm like, yeah, this didn't feel like a hype for a pay-per-view match. It felt like a hype more so for like a regular like weekly TV match. So the fact they kind of put it on SmackDown instead of at Hell in a Cell was fine with me. But I gotta be real, the match they chose to replace it with inside the cell, I'm like, what? Why? Like, nothing about Hell in a Cell to me screams Hell in a Cell. There's 2 matches, honestly, I would have considered putting inside the cell, which I'll get to that in my preview and predictions. I'll save that for there. One of them is very obvious, and I've been saying it for weeks. And those are my Hell in a Cell card predictions. That also got no views, and no one really watches those card predictions anymore, which just disappoints me, but, it is what it is. Anyways, let's just talk about this show quickly. So we have a vignette starting off for Roman and Rey. Rey comes out as the cell is lowered, saying how pained and hurt he is for Dominic. He will never forget the helpless look in his eyes as he suffered from pain, which is why he wants his revenge tonight inside the cell. He does not want to wait till Sunday. And he basically said, I issued the challenge. He said I didn't want to wait, and Roman replied through Twitter that he accepts, but he wants to see the so-called head of the table answer the response like a man in person. Roman comes out with Paul Heyman and says, I try to be diplomatic, but now we will have to do things his way. So, the challenge already accepted, but he refused to accept the challenge in person. Just hype up the match later on tonight. We have a backstage with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens and Big E, saying that they're not worried about Commander Aziz as they have a match with Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz, where Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz actually won. But there's clear tension in the air. Sami Zayn comes out to watch the match at ringside. After the match, Commander Aziz hit the Nigerian nail on Kevin Owens, and then Sami Zayn gloats about this backstage, and then Kevin Owens demands a match at Hell in a Cell, which is granted. So we're getting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens at Hell in a Cell. That's at Hell in a Cell. Little spoiler alert for my preview predictions. Why not change that to in Hell in a Cell? Because that feud needs a stipulation. We have seen these guys fight how many times one-on-one on live pay-per-view and on live TV, and their matches are always great. Give me a damn stipulation with these two. What's so hard about it? Honestly, I still want the I Quit match. Probably when I cut from earlier when I shaved. Literally, I've been begging for that match for 5 years. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, I Quit. And the story, again, this whole feud has been perfect for that. Kevin Owens has been literally beating the crap out of Sami Zayn to knock some sense into Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn thinks there's a conspiracy against him. By the way, what happened with this documentary? That so-called documentary. They kind of just veered away from it and have been super silent about this whole feud with Sami and Kevin. Probably because they've got nothing else to really do for him right now for their story. But like I said, the simple thing to do, like I said, the story is, again, Kevin Owens trying to beat some sense in Sami Zayn. Okay, well, I beat you at WrestleMania one-on-one, but you're still complaining that there was a conspiracy against you. Well, this time, you get to lose on your own terms. So, you're the one who has to give up. After that, there are no excuses. Like I said, Sami Zayn's contract is due to expire in September. That could be either, if he is not re-signed, like him being written off, which could be good because he's not going to get booked any better in WWE, or it could lead to Sami Zayn turning face and him and Kevin Owens being a tag team again. Because I still think they should have had a run with the tag titles back in 2017 when they were heels and giving Shane and Bryan hell. But spoiler alert already for my preview predictions later on in the show. And for the millionth gazillionth time, we finally had Baron Corbin versus Shinsuke Nakamura with the crown on the line. How many weeks have we been doing this match? How many weeks? Shinsuke Nakamura wins. He gets crowned the new King of the Ring. Fine by me. Maybe I've never seen a babyface have the crown. And also, it gets the King of the Ring thing off of Baron Corbin. Finally, because, no gimmick works for Baron Corbin anymore. Well, except when he was the Lone Wolf. I liked he was the Lone Wolf. But, of course, I screwed that up. Well, he was fine as the Lone Wolf. But, again, they made him Corporate Corbin. That's when his career really tanked. But yeah, so maybe that'll be better things for him. Who knows? Bianca Belair came out to the ring, calls out Bayley, calls her a bully, and she wants Bayley inside the cell, which Bayley and Bianca then fight with Bayley coming out on top. So we took out Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio at the pay-per-view, and we already had Bayley and Bianca, which is just literally like like a filler feud for Bianca until Sasha comes back. And we're doing it inside Hell in a Cell. When all that the story's been is Bayley laughing at Bianca. That's bullying. You know, I ask questions about like this, or like the Shane and Braun feud, the whole Braun is stupid shit and everything. Is that really the best you got to build to a Hell in a Cell match? Is that really going to make you want to see, like, Hell in a Cell is like, oh, trapped inside a big structure, two people who hate each other, tearing each other apart, giving them hell. I don't feel that at all for, I mean, Bianca Belair getting an opportunity inside of Hell in a Cell, definitely for that. But Bayley laughing at Bianca for who knows what, for how many weeks now, and that is going to make you want to see him inside the cell? There's two matches that should have had that spot. It should have been Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I would have taken them inside the cell. Or the other two we're about to talk about that got interviewed in a second, which I'll get to in a second. First we had Chad Gable and Otis attack Angelo Dawkins before their match, just because they're just having these two teams just feud for no reason, because they're only two teams, nothing else to do. But yeah, so then we have Cesaro have an interview with Caleb Braxton, which saying how Cesaro says that Seth Rollins didn't go far enough, thinking, okay, this is teasing Hell in a Cell. Seth Rollins arrives and says Cesaro disgusts him and he will show everyone at Hell in a Cell, not in Hell in a Cell, what Cesaro deserves. And Cesaro's like, thank you for that, Seth. I respect you for that. And he just pushes Seth off his chair like an idiot, and Seth gets all fumed and whatnot. That should have been inside the cell. That has the build to be put inside the cell. Not Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. Not Bianca Belair and Bayley. Rey Mysterio and Roman, if it went on longer, I could see that being in Hell in a Cell. But it was just a 1 week build, but they built it just for, you know, like a Friday Night Smackdown match. And fine. But you couldn't have put this match inside the cell? This match needed a stipulation. We already saw them one-on-one WrestleMania, and it was great. It was great. Why do you want to see them one-on-one again? With nothing on the line. Nothing. So, that should have been inside the cell, but it wasn't. Then the main event, skip this by accident. We had a segment backstage where Jimmy Uso approaches Roman Reigns, and he basically says, you know, I thought about what you said, and I do agree. Family comes first, and whatnot. But Roman was more concerned about where Jay was. He says, I need your brother. He says, we need your brother. Basically, he thinks they're on the same page. Either they think he's all on the same page, or we're finally getting a Jimmy Uso heel turn, or Jimmy Uso's tricking Roman Reigns, and the Usos are going to turn on Roman. Or this could be the start of a Roman Reigns face turn. Which I'm like, no, please don't. Look, for years when I was begging, we were all begging WWE to turn Roman heel. I said, give him about a year and he'll be the most over thing in the company. Honestly, that may be the case. He is the best thing in the company. Like, him being a face, you know, I can understand him now with him, how over he probably would be because of how great he's been doing as a heel. But people respect how good of a heel he is. However, though, remember, there was a pandemic. There was no real crowd. Let him actually do his work in front of a real crowd first before making him a face again, please. Please. I'm hearing the rumors and seeing like segments like this where it's like they're teasing the Usos and Reigns back on the same page. I'm like, okay, does that mean Jimmy's going to turn heel? Does that mean the Usos are going to turn on Roman Reigns? Or does that mean Roman Reigns and the Usos are going to be a babyface faction? That's not what I want yet. So, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no clue. The match happened with Roman Reigns and Rey Mysterio, and it was pretty good for what I saw. You know, Rey utilized the chair a lot. I know there was a spot in the match where Jay put the chair around Roman's neck, and pushed him into the cell, which I thought was, a little bit pushy, knowing the history of stuff like that. But Ray took a lot of massive bumps. When Ray's had shots against people like Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns, or not so much Seth Rollins last year. We all know how terrible that feud ended up being. Well, I was fine with it. I mean, I did not like the eye for an eye match. I was fine with the story for it until they had the thing with Aaliyah Mysterio and Buddy Murphy, which I still forget that happened at the time, because that went nowhere afterwards. I still thought to this day, what was going to happen is Ray was going to kind of pay more attention to Buddy, helping him become a star, and that would make Dominic jealous, and that would lead to Dominic turning heel. But yeah, credit where credit is due. Since Ray's come back to WWE, when he's had those matches against people like Brock Lesnar at Survivor Series 2019, with Roman, a couple other big men he's had matches with, he's made the best of it. I give him credit there. But Roman wins. Now here's the only thing I will knock Ray with. Roman wins with some type of a different guillotine submission. And Ray taps out very quickly. I gotta nitpick on Ray for a second. I feel like anytime he gets us into submissions, he taps out way too fast. If he wants to look I mean, obviously we know Rey Mysterio's a legend. Crap. I lost train of thought. Like I said, I know he's a legend already, but most of the time I've seen Rey Mysterio, when he gets put into submissions, he taps out way too fast. Sell it a little bit longer, Ray. He it's just he puts himself up in a fight against these guys for so long and makes him look like a warrior, but the moment he gets stuck in a submission, he always just taps out so fast. It's the star power, the believability that he's able to hang with these guys just goes away like that when he does stuff like that. Just a nitpick, but afterwards Jimmy came out with Reigns to celebrate, and Roman put Ray in another guillotine, and that's how the show goes off the air. Cool. That's SmackDown. Again, not much to really say. I gave it a C+. The stuff with Roman and Ray was good. Stuff with Cesaro and Seth I'm looking forward to. Everything else was just there. It was decent. Gave it a C+. Live chat. What do we got before I go off the air? We got Lauren. Why have Roman and Ray on SmackDown inside Hell in a Cell? SmackDown is so much better than Raw. Oh, that's definitely for sure. And yeah, like I said, I'm fine with them doing it. Like I said, it didn't feel like a build for a pay-per-view match. If this would have been a little bit longer build, then I could maybe see it being on pay-per-view. But having it being just one-on-one on SmackDown, I'm fine. I'm just not happy with how they replaced it, who gets the cell. Again, I still think it should have been either Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, or should have been, my better choice was Cesaro and Rollins. But giving it to Bayley and Bianca, which is not even close to being Hell in a Cell worthy. Again, Bianca being inside Hell in a Cell, definitely. But her and Bayley in this whole laughing storyline. I think also when Bayley held up the championship, they had a million faces, copies of that on, just like they did with all the laughing faces. Again, it's just so stupid stuff. Any draft predictions? I heard we're going to be giving a draft right after SmackDown, after SummerSlam. I don't know any predictions. Yeah, I don't have the time right now to really think of them out. Did you hear WWE is planning a heel turn for Orton on Raw, but isn't he already officially a heel? I thought he was still a heel too. He's still coming across as heelish in his team with Matt Riddle. Like I said, I feel like Matt Riddle should turn heel and then be a heel tag team. That's what I'm hoping happens with them. It'll be Owens versus Zayn at SummerSlam again. I kind of don't. Only way at this point, Sammy needs to win on Sunday if they want to get the SummerSlam. I'd say have Sammy win Sunday, either both of them or one of them be in Money in the Bank, and then they blow it off at SummerSlam, and an I Quit match. I quit. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. I quit. In fact, screw it. Screw it. I know I say I don't have the time. At some point in the next few days, I'm making a video. I'm making a video. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, SummerSlam. I quit. I want that match. I want it. Any matches that I really want now, I should make a video and just plead my case as to why. So, I'm gonna. That's one of my few things of like demand pleads, basically, or something like that. What's up, Mark? She's working on a few projects on her channel. Nice. Even though they added some new matches, still not interested. Oh yeah, I'm not interested whatsoever in Hell in a Cell. Like, again, like I said at the beginning of this review, my hype for Hell in a Cell is much less than WrestleMania Backlash was, and I wasn't interested in WrestleMania Backlash at all whatsoever. Besides Roman and Cesaro, that did not disappoint me. Looks like Jimmy Uso is the left-hand man. Who knows what he is? Lawrence SummerSlam predictions: Roman and Cena, Lashley and Lesnar, Owens and Zayn, Becky and Bianca. Becky and Bianca. I thought I'd be getting Becky and Rhea, but I'm fine Becky and Bianca. Charlotte and Alexa. Okay. The Mysterios versus Gable and Otis. Natty and Tamina versus Mandy and Danny is probably all they have left. Eva Marie versus Naomi. No, thank you. Sheamus and Ricochet. Okay. With Carrillo. Fine. Sasha and Bayley. I don't know about that one. I mean, I felt like they should have done it last year, but they just blew it off quickly. I don't know about that one, but maybe. Rollins and Cesaro probably would be outdone by then. RK Bro versus Omos and Styles. Sure. Usos and the Street Profits. Yes. Yes. Like I said, they had an excellent match on SmackDown recently. They need to have a pay-per-view match. I mean it. Let me see here. Yes, Vince apparently admits the product looks stale, but he doesn't care. They should have made Seth and Cesaro or Kevin. Yep, exactly as I said. You never give a grade for Raw, because I don't watch Raw. I don't watch Raw, and I can't talk about it. So I at least just talk about what happened. I don't grade it. I don't like give my thoughts of anything. When do you think WWE will be good again? I've given up on trying to believe they're going to be good again. Why haven't you done a turtle for Piper Niven and Randy Orton yet? I did do one on Piper Niven. I did, but Randy Orton I never did one because I never thought he turned into a face again. I don't know. I just never really had full face vibes for Randy Orton. I did one for Piper Niven this week, though. They should have made Charlotte, Rick, and Rhea either no DQ or falls count anywhere. I've been fine with that. I mean, they've already had a one-on-one match before on pay-per-view at WrestleMania 36. I would have been cool with that. Or heck, I'll say this. I would have been okay with them doing Rhea. I mean, even though the build's been crap, I would have been okay with them doing Rhea and Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell because they have history. I would have been okay with that. Imagine if Riddle turns heel instead of Orton. That'd be a swerve, which I think, yes, I actually would prefer that, to be honest. Jimmy won't join Roman. Who knows? Imagine Naomi joins Roman's faction when she gets drafted to SmackDown. Could be. Yeah, I heard about the face turn. Roman and RK Bro are the best things for her right now. She can't wait to get the live crowds. Do you really think the live crowds will change anything? I think live crowds will make the show at least a little bit more bearable to watch because everything's a lot more organic. Like, again, without the live crowds and these piped-in noises, you're feeling forced to feel how, they're trying to make you after the crowd's acting. So, I think, again, live crowds will at least help bring back the organic aspect, I feel. Which will help, I think. If they're playing Cena versus Roman, though, why have Roman be a face? Maybe Cena returns as a heel, but I doubt that. No. I mean, as John Cena being a heel, I'd be cool with. Him and Roman, though, Roman's got to be the heel. Roman has to be the heel. Hopefully after SummerSlam, they'll pick up the pace again, I hope. Who would you turn heel? Who would you turn face? I don't have time to discuss all that right now. This Jeff Hardy's last year in WWE. He'll go to AEW and retire with his brother. Be nice, except they signed him to a 5-year deal, or however long they signed him to. He's going to be around for a while, I think. I'm not sure, but it'd be nice if he got out of there. Karrion Kross and Bronson Reed were backstage at SmackDown. I did hear those rumors. Don't call them up yet. He goes SmackDown to C. Lauren's checking out. Nice. And Becky was at the Performance Center too. I did hear about that. Yes. That's gonna do it, though, guys. I get going in a few minutes. I'll be getting home late tonight for my plans. Going down to see my girlfriend. So I will try to do my Hell in a Cell predictions before I go to bed tonight. I'm gonna at least have a couple minutes. I want to at least finish the graphics because I was waiting until all the matches were made official. So I will take care of those, and then I'll be on my way down to my girlfriend's, and then I'll be home late tonight. And again, I will try to do my preview predictions for Hell in a Cell. And again, I'm working early. I'm working overtime this coming week again. Getting tired of it, honestly. Even though it's good money for my paycheck, but I don't know if I'll review Hell in a Cell on Sunday or not. Depends on how tired I am. But we'll see. No live reactions though, because nothing interests me at all on this show at all. Nothing. So, yep. Those are my thoughts. What are your thoughts on SmackDown this week? Give it a C+. Leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Be sure as always to slap a like on the video and subscribe. More content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. And with that, guys, I'm checking out. I'll see you all later. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Peace out, everybody.